Alright, I'll spare you the lame voice antics this time, at least for now. Alright, so I'm sure people have saw that people have seen the model stuff going on for Berseria. Personally, I'm kind of tired of working on it. Had a lot of trouble with the Zavied thing, as people might have already known. And well, it's pretty much. I'm just go ahead and release what I have done, and well, we'll just go from there at this point. But I really don't feel like working on it any further. But I don't know, maybe somebody will inspire me to go further with it than I have already done. All right, so I'm just going to give a video on just basically how to use this model code. Not that it's very complicated, but I figured I don't really have a video to attach to upload for, so hey, why don't I make a how-to? How I might as well make a how-to video on how to use the code, just in case people may have trouble, or maybe they never even use cheat engine if that becomes a thing. So first of all, I'm gonna go ahead and load up Berseria. It doesn't have to be in window mode, but I'm gonna put it on 800 by 600 just to make things simple, so you can see both screens at the same time and see what I'm actually doing. When you finish, you can actually, when you finish, or should I say, when you finish messing with the code, you can easily turn the resolution back up. Let me actually turn the game audio down a little bit. Okay, so now I just loaded up a file. It doesn't matter what file you load up, but once you do that, you want to start cheat engine. If you never used cheat engine before, you'll see, once you open it, you'll see this glowing rectangle. This allows you to attach the process. Once you click that, you want to click on Tales of Berseria. Has the icon, easy to spot. Click on that, hit open. Opens that, allows the cheat engine to connect to the game. Once you do that, you want to go to the open folder, find the CT table. I'm sure that you've already downloaded. Here it is, Tales of Berseria underscore fru. Open that. Once you do that, it populates this bottom half of the screen with the necessary codes. Now, first thing you want to do to get this started is go ahead and hit the all arts available code. You're going to need that to use everyone's particular arts. After you do that, hit this arrow character source script single source box. You want to toggle that box. Now when you press the box, you only have to press it one time. And once you press it one time, it's going to take a while to take effect. So just give it some time. When you see that wait cursor disappear, it should toggle. You should see the red X in the box. If not, then the code didn't work for some reason. At that point, I wouldn't know what to tell you, but we'll assume that it does work once it gets started. Once it toggles, the information under it opens up to you. Currently, you have 4 characters. These 4 characters that you can change into a particular character, or you can use the model code for. For this particular tutorial, if you will, we're going to just use Velvet. When you click on, if you want Velvet, you click on the Velvet box. It gives you a list of the characters you can turn into. Dart Turtles and Dial is not available at this particular moment, so don't really mess with them. That's why it's in red. The first thing you want to do is hit this box, Velvet Remove Hair, so that you won't see Velvet's hair when you change the model. Once that box is toggled, you will want to choose any of the current options here. For this one, we'll just choose Ceres. I'm going to hit this box, give it a few seconds, and once you do that, then the model has changed officially. You can go into the fashion screen or equip screen, and you should see that the model has changed on that particular character. So that's how that works. But it doesn't change any of the other elements. She's still pretty much Velvet, just has a Ceres model skin, if you will, similar to the model changes in Tales of Xillia 2, where you can be Beasley or Julius, etc. To get the full character, voice and all, you want to just toggle this box right here. It should toggle instantly. After you do that, this box is basically pretty much all of these combined. And once you do that, that's it. You can go into a battle and the character should play just like you see when you fight against them.
Don't be overconfident.
Oh, my apologies. I completely forgot. I had arts equipped. The default arts are set. Some characters have more than the amount of arts I can set in these boxes. It's pretty much, you can pretty much put any art you want into these boxes, but if you want a more kind of a better glimpse of what they have completely, if I couldn't fill it in these 12 boxes here, you want to hit Arts Tree and then auto populate art list. You can toggle it on, then toggle it off immediately. And when you do that, the other boxes where it says you decide should fill with the appropriate arts, as if you selected and equipped them. So there you go. So it's basically if you went into this art selection screen and equipped them. So these are some of the arts that I couldn't fit. That's her right side, Lingering Ember, Power Drink Ring, First Aid, and Lightning Blast, which really isn't hers, but gave it to her anyway. So, and they do have voices, so you can use you can use them, and they would say the appropriate voice clip for the arts. I don't think you've seen her say Power Drink Ring. I don't even know if she has that available when you have her on your team. And there you have it. That's all it takes for this code to work. You can do that with any character. That's it. If you want to choose a different character, just be sure to untoggle the boxes in the opposite order. So untoggle this first, then untoggle that, and then you can go to someone else. Now, the big thing is Zavied. Zavied was giving me some trouble for quite a while. Basically what happens is when you go into the menu screen, it ends up throwing an exception, and I'm going to give an example right here so you can see. First, I gotta run away. So you see his weapons in his hands. That's the problem. When I leave this screen and go to the menu, it'll throw the exception and says it was an out of range. I guess it's for whatever search the game does. Can't find this particular information for this weapon for some reason. Alright, yeah, so that exception happens pretty much anytime you try to use Zavied normally. If you want to avoid that particular error, there's an option, workaround for fixed string exception alpha. It's an alpha phase because it's not 100%. Let me start the game back up. Since the game closed on me, I have to attach the process again. Okay, so when you start the game over, you have to reattach the process. It turns all the codes off, so we gotta go back to the same motions again to get it started. Okay. Alright, so I loaded the data back up. Now, I'm going to click Zavied again. Same thing as before. This time I'm going to click this box. Now, once you click this box, it will pretty much allow you to play as Zavied in any general battle. You can go to a different area, you can go in and out of the menu, no problem. The only thing is, it only works sometimes with cutscene battles, or if there's a cutscene then you get into a battle. It might not work, or it might throw that exception after the battle. I've tested it here and there. A lot of times it works, occasionally it didn't. But if you're just trying to play a Zavied for a little bit, just to see what he can do, or just from regular battles, or you want to go through, say, for example, the EX dungeon, he can do that, no problem.
Not worth my time.
And there you have it. He basically can be used in pretty much the same way you saw as in the original video I did for him. And that's it. That's really all that I wanted to say about this. Yeah, I don't really think there's anything extra to mention. There are some extra elements. For example, you can put long hair on Zavied. You can change his model. You can use. You can have his voice, but still have everything else about the character. The same. Although, if you change the model or the animations, all hits of an art may not hit. So, if you, for example, if I play Zavied or Velvet as with the Zavied model, like Zelia 2, maybe all of her attacks, some of all of her attacks, or all of her arts, some of them might not hit or whiff or something of that nature. But the option is there if you so desire to try it out. The other thing I wanted to talk about is the arena. Now I'm going to leave this battle for a moment. Hold on.
Is this also part of the Reaper's curse?
So for this arena code, you want to go ahead and get to the elite quarter. Now normally you get here, you start this battle, you normally end up doing the typical elite quarter enemy fights. And I'm not going to show you because it'll take me too long to get through. But you can actually, there's a simple editor in this particular field. We're going to start by clicking this box. So it says arena, and it said go to arena editor, simple single set battle. This sets this particular arena up for a single set battle. In other words, it's just one group of enemies you fight, and then that's it. The battle ends. So you start by clicking this box, and you're going to notice that you have two particular entries of note: entry placement and entry name, or the enemy name, basically. If you don't want a placement, or you don't want if you only want, say, one enemy, like here, you would select no entry for the placement, which is done automatically by default. Once that's the case, if you do want an enemy, all you have to do is click on the value no entry, and you get a drop down box where you can select the where the enemy will initialize on the battlefield. It's in relative terms, I can't really describe exactly, but this is the best way I can describe where the location will be based on the number. So here it's 180 degrees from the center in the inner ring, so it'll probably be like around here. 180 degrees, that's about right here. So I'm just going to go on a quick fight. Right now I just have the slime active. There's all the other slots say no entry when I go into the fight. I'll only fight the single slime, and then the battle will be over. And that's it. Now once I defeat him, wow.
Was that supposed to be a joke?
I was testing Eisen before, that's why I had those arts equipped on him. At any rate, so you saw that I had the slime. Now, if I wanted to say add another enemy, I'm gonna go down here to placement 10, and I'm just going to select somewhere out of this location on the outer ring, and I'm gonna go and fight again. So you see, as it shows right here, the sand mole, it appears on the outer ring about 105 degrees from the center. So doesn't matter which entry you choose, you can select any of the 10 and the enemy will appear. Now,
They were nothing.
so in that way you can fight any opponents that you want. Just have to set the entry, the placement, and you can set the enemy name. To select the enemy, it's the same way as you select the placement. Just double click on this and choose from the drop down box where such information like the level, the type of enemy is pretty much all grouped together. Some of the human bosses are near the top. You got the Shikureis, the Eleanor, etc. The only thing is, if you want to fight human bosses, you have to click this box right here. As you may already know, when you fight a human boss and you defeat them, they don't explode and disappear like normal enemies. They just kind of go into this dizzy stance after they're defeated. So you clicking this box, make sure that the enemy disappears, and so that the game knows that the enemy has been zeroed out or defeated. Otherwise, it will just hang if you have a human opponent in the fight. So other than that, that's pretty much it. Outside of I do have my own little master arena. It's pretty hard. I couldn't actually beat it at my current level, and probably because I haven't even beaten the EX dungeon. But it's a lot harder than the EX dungeon. But if you want to try, just make sure that the simple arena box isn't clicked, and you just go and click this box right here. That's all you have to do. Once you do that, the arena is already set up. The enemies are set up. That's it. So I'm not going to just go jump into the first little skirmish real fast so you can see. As you can see, that's the starting lineup for this particular battle. It's in the same vein as typical arena battles, where the enemies will come at certain intervals or whatnot. But yeah, it's extremely difficult. It's probably the hardest stuff in the game, simply because of the aggressiveness of the enemies. Think dangerous encounters in the arena, basically. So if you feeling brave, you want to put them stats to the test, put your equipment and skills to the test, and it's there for you. Outside of that, that's all I have to say. If it's giving you serious trouble, I would suggest you click these two boxes here. It's that hard, and you're gonna want to be able to strategically be able to swap your characters out, heal them in the background because of the aggression of the enemies, or at least for me. Now, of course, I could be just too weak, and maybe somebody else can just run through this with no problems. But those options are there if you happen to need them. Obviously, this keeps all your blast gauge if you die, and this makes heals 100% like it's supposed to, instead of getting that healing reduction like 20% for chaos or whatever. It only heals 20% of what it's supposed to. So those two options are there in case you need it. I think that's it. I think that's all I want to touch on. Oh, if you do the arena and you want the enemies to be stronger, you can click this box right here. It makes even the beginning of the game enemies kind of on the tougher side. Gives them the necessary stats to compete against you, even if you have in-game gear. So if you want to fight, say, like slime, and you want that slime to be strong, you just click this box, and it'll do an automatic conversion of their stats to make them a little bit difficult. But other than that, that's pretty much it. Don't really have much else to say. If you have any questions or comments, I may not be able to answer them, but you are free to drop a comment and ask, and I'll try to do my best to answer whatever questions you may have. And that's it. So, with that, I bid you adieu.